Okay, guys, welcome to this part of the course. So, yeah, I'll cover other reasons why people buy, still based off the foundation that we've already built. If you've been following this course through, I've made mention that selling is an emotional thing. All right, so you should already be aware by now that people are emotional buyers. So, and when I say people, humans in general, okay, so and I've said it that when you're trying to sell from the emotional standpoint, and if you've been a part of the live classes we've rehearsed together, I've taught you how to do instant live pitches and all those stuffs. So now we'll move on to more reasons why people buy. Why am I teaching you other reasons why people buy? It's so that you will know why they don't buy. The objective behind this class is to help you deal with sales objections. What are sales objections? Sales objections are things that can prevent a potential customer from buying from you. Remember, you're not the only one selling what you have to offer. So let's say yes, you've hit some of the first points, right? You've been able to qualify. This person you're talking to is your target audience. All right. So it's not like he's interested in what you want to sell to him or her. And I already said he, but anyways, now this person is interested in what you have to sell to him or her, and the person might not end up buying even though the person needs what you have to offer. Why? There are just some objections, there are just some things stopping the person from saying yes. And like I shared with you, it's the goal of the salesperson to get that yes from the customers, to make them say the yes. All right, so what objections are we looking at? Number one, convenience. People buy convenience. So if I see people buy convenience, that means people will not buy when there is and when they don't see that convenience in it, if they see that the process will be too stressful. So as sales professionals, it's important that you have to embrace an emotional intelligence. So when you're talking to a target audience and the person says no, you should think through all the available objections in your head. Why is this person saying no? What is your objection? Is it the convenience? Is it this? Is this the price? Is it this? Then how can I maneuver it? How can I help this client? How can I take away this objection from before this potential customer so that he or she can make the decision that they are supposed to make? So you have to be thinking, as a sales professional, you have to start thinking steps ahead of those you're interacting with. So this course also boosts your emotional intelligence in that sense. So people buy because of convenience. If something is not convenient, they won't buy. If the process is not convenient, they won't buy. Sometimes people might just be too lazy to put in extra effort. So as a salesperson, you have to be the one to go extra mile. So for example, let's say you find out that there is a lead interested in your product. You don't tell the person's okay, you don't tell them send the person my number, let the person message me. No. No. As a salesperson, you want to make sure you eliminate all the stress in the process for your customer. Sometimes you don't even want it. Another thing about learning this particular topic on that discourse is so that the objections don't even come up at all. You don't have to wait till the objections come up. As a good salesperson, you should already know the things that could cause objections and then deal with them. So if, for example, a prospect is interested in your product or your service, and you are finding out from maybe an already existing customer, say, hey, someone needs, so should I send, say, oh, you say send them, no, don't say send them my number, I say send me the person's number, I will reach out. Always be the one going the extra mile to get the sale. Always be the one pushing one step further to close that deal. All right, even simple things like, another area where convenience comes in is the use of links. Even simple things like maybe posting something in your status and then telling them swipe up to message me. Sometimes just placing the link there and telling them click on that same link. And the most beautiful thing is that sometimes that same link could lead to your WhatsApp DM for those that sell on WhatsApp. But then just create the link to a product and just say, okay, if you need this thing, click on the link, it will bring you to my DM. And sometimes those links come with custom messages, so you just click, even if it doesn't, just click on the link. You see that people will tend to click on a link that leads you to your DM if you start practicing it, more than just swiping up to respond, even though both of them sell it to your same WhatsApp DM. Why? People just like convenience. People love convenience, and as a salesperson, it's our duty as sales professionals, it's our duty and it's our responsibility to make sure that we are always making the processes seamless and easier for clients to come on board. So when you're thinking okay, how can I get it, before they think about it, okay, mention we have logistics for transport. They have not even voiced it out yet, but you know, put customers convenience as your priority as a sales professional. Sometimes your company might have not made a provision for certain things, but as a salesperson you can think it up. You can even stretch the extra mile just to close that sale and say, okay, I'll cover here, I'll cover there, and boom, you are going further than what you are supposed to do just to get the sale, because it's your commission, right? You don't want to make the money at the end of the day. The other salesperson that don't want to go the extra mile, they will make the money you make at the end of the month. And then when your commission start getting up and you're climbing up the charts, you'll be proud of yourself, but then nobody will know you are putting the extra work. So suggest this like deliveries. Say, okay, where can I meet you? How do you pick it up? Say, don't worry, we can deliver it at your doorstep. It might just incur this cost, but you don't have to stress yourself about this. So bring it up to the front of your house. We have our own deliveries, and if they don't have to pay for it, if your company offer free logistics, you let them know and just say, okay, this is what we'll be doing. Yeah, boom. And then that's fine. So people buy convenience. People buy because of convenience. All right, and then another reason why people buy, definitely, that we cannot close out, is price. People buy because of price. So like I'd say, one thing you understand is that not everybody will be your target audience. Not everybody might be buoyant enough to buy your products. For example, currently, yeah, I might be doing 7 figures, but I'm not looking out to buy a Lamborghini car. I'm not looking out to buy a Lamborghini. It's not like, of course I can receive gifts from either of you, but it's not something I'm looking to carry out my own budget to go buy. No, I'm not looking, because it's not my budget. I'm not in that stage currently, or in that phase of life for me right now. So there are people that won't be able to afford what you have to offer. It's not because they don't like it, they don't want it, or they don't deserve it. It's just because they are not your target audience. They don't have the money for it. So you're not the right fit for them. They are not the right fit for you, and that's fine. But sometimes there are persons that they just need extra. They need a change of perception to see that it's really worth it. And sometimes there are things that you can also do to close price objections. So if some person say, oh, I would love to get this, but most times all clients don't come because of their pride, and people have their esteem, so they won't tell you, I want to get this but I don't have the money. So someone will open up to tell you it's the price. So it might just be the ones to discern, and offer suggestions. One way to deal with this price objection is to change your perception of what you're selling. I'll come back to this, but let me just share the second one. The second one is to offer installment payments. All right, so you let them know, oh, you can pay in installments, you can pay in 3 batches. If you don't have the money at once, it's fine. You pay the first time, pay the second time, pay the third time, and once you pay, boom, we'll deliver the money to you. We'll give you receipts to prove, or to show that you've paid, you've kept this amount with us, and when it's done, we push it to you. So that's one way to deal with sales, with price objections when it comes to sales. Now, another way to deal with price objections is to change your perception, because sometimes you might have already checked prices outside, and you feel like, this thing shouldn't be worth more than, let's say, 5,000 naira. And then what you have to do when it seems like they are slagging, and you can tell, or you are discerning that it's a price objection barrier, you tell them why you are different. You hit the emotions again. You emphasize value. All right, you let them know that I know that some persons, so they might not open up to you, but you are answering the thoughts in their minds before they even come up. So I know that some persons could do this for 5k. This, you might not use the same line I'm using right now. This is just spontaneous, like free flow. You see, I know that some persons offer to do the same thing for 5,000, 10,000 somewhere else, but this is really different. Then you go back to tell them why you're different, why you stand out from the crowd, why you stand out from the competitors, and why you feel they would be happy, like why you feel it would be the best decision for them to patronize you instead of patronize the other people. And if you've been a part of the live classes, I'm sure that must have done storytelling, brands, how do I put that class, how to actually sales speech. So this particular session of the course is for live sales. Because when you be getting leads, when we generate leads from you, I know I talked about follow-up in the previous session where you have to craft social media contents that are geared towards converting leads, long-term sales. But there are times where that one is different from really having to be on the phone with a lead that has been generated, or having to be chatting, having a direct conversation. Now, when I taught you about using content for follow-up, that's generic. That's for, you can just send that to all your clients, or you can just use on your social media handles. But now there are times where you need personal conversations with the leads that have come in, aside from general broadcast. So those conversations cannot necessarily be rehearsed. What you have to learn is principles to make those sales happen. But then you don't know, you cannot predict how this conversation will go. But if you just understand the foundations of these things, that yes, there are roadblocks in sales, and there are things that could cause those roadblocks, and these are the things that I can do to overcome them, then you are good. Alright, then you are good. Because definitely, aside from just sending general messages, once they show interest, you have to now begin to do private follow-up. So if you start getting leads, the next thing to do is start following them up, because it takes multiple touches to close a lead, right? So you are following them up with the content that I've shared with you, how to create your content calendar for follow-up, your structure for follow-up, on all those stuff. That is different from how to actually close a sale from one-on-one conversations. All right, that's different from personal follow-up. So there's a general follow-up that you should just do, top of mind awareness, by sending them your content as a company. But then you should already have, as that one goes over time, it should create a personal conversation that you are now having with these clients, aside from the content you've been sharing with them. So most times it could be over the phone, sometimes it could be in a chat, and what you are trying to do at that point is to close the deal while your content is doing its general work. This time you are doing your own personal work on each client to just converse with them, find out what they need, find out their roadblocks, and then close the deal, make them make the purchase. Remember, as a salesperson, your job is not to take orders, your job is to help them make orders. So when you say people buy because of price, so you dig in deep, you change their perception, you pitch to them as you make them the hero in their story. We've covered this in the live classes. So I taught you how to do live pitches. When you are actually aside from creating content and sending, even though you've understood the basics, the foundation of selling, and there is that point where you would have to get on a call, or you just need to have that, you have to pitch yourself up front. You would have that opportunity to stand in front of a client, a prospective client, and just deliver and just get that sales done. So even though, as much as I've said that most times they not happen up front, but that's also necessary, that direct touch where you are reaching out to that client or that prospect or that lead as an individual is important. It's important as much as it's good and important to just send out your content and follow up materials in general. But then there should be individual touches where you are trying to get on phone with leads, chat them up and find out their own objections and then clear them. Both of them has to work. I mean, the general follow up and the individual follow up relationship being built with potential customers.